Hello everybody, today I'm going to be explaining the dark story of Baldisbasics multiplayer's very likely ARG, but also possibly just like their own little story thing that they're working on. But they were talking about decoders apparently in the Discord, although it could also just be a really elaborate joke, but if it is, they put a lot of effort into everything. Basically, we're going to be explaining the full story and what it means. If you're confused, visit my 2 recent videos to learn what the game is and what's wrong with it right now. They are not long at all. I will provide links to them in the comment section. The story consists of 4 main characters who worked on the game. Dot, Cash, Dash, who is also probably Tag, and Zero. That's their actual names, I'm sorry. Zero is a girl. She is the shortest and appears to be a white model. She is a hard worker and cares about the player base and condition of the game, but in the process of trying to help, she accidentally damages the game. She also gets into conflict later on with Dot. Dot is the black, medium-sized model. Their gender is unknown. They are implied to be a somewhat lazy character at the start of their conversation with Tag. Later on, they get more motivated to work on a project, but get into conflict with Zero. Overall, they're kind of a snarky character, and are kind of antagonistic with Zero. Cash is the tallest character and brown. Their gender is unknown. They don't talk a whole lot, but they seem to have no hate or conflict with the others, and they de-escalate the arguments between Dot and Zero. But it is worth noting that they seem to be really focused on money too, which could explain their name. Dash is likely the same entity as Tag as I mentioned previously. Their gender is unknown. They are the green medium-sized model. I couldn't find a whole lot about them, but it seems they're the more serious person in the group. Throughout the game, text on chalkboards change with each notebook you collect. I gathered most, if not all, pieces of dialogue and grouped them up in mostly perfect order. At the beginning of the round, before books will spawn in, you can see 4 characters talking to another. Here's the dialogue found during the game.
So kids are obsessed with this thing? I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think we could make a lot of money.
I just need you to actually be able to work for a change.
Here's the dialogue that appeared on the chalkboards during our search for all 11 notebooks. In other words, this is the entirety of the main story so far. Real quick, credits to Mathilabu for gathering every single message, and he is a very good detective. He got a few of the notes that I had missed actually when I was in there for an hour. So yeah, thank you.
You guys, see that new Baldi thing? Could be worth a try.
I thought it was really fun.
Could be worth a lot.
I have some time to kill, sure.
Wow, that's a lot of players, but can we get rid of the game passes? It feels a little wrong.
We're on a roll. I'm gonna get started on the new map right away. This thing's taking off. Good job, guys.
This is the most we've ever made. Spending is down. Do any of you have any ideas?
Why are the players going down? Was it the map?
We need to revert the map. People are disliking. Please.
Fine, just get rid of the new map. I'm sick of this.
I feel bad about all these kids wanting an update. I guess I can try and add something myself. Why don't they like the candy? Didn't you guys help at all? I know I didn't tell anyone, but I was just trying to do something for everyone.
You're not good at anything. Stop touching the game. Nobody cares about Baldi. There's a reason we stopped working with you. I'm done with this.
Quit fighting. We still have literal dominus money in the group. It's fine.
What happened? What happened to the game? Everyone is mad. Everyone is mad at me. They think it's me. What happened to Baldi?
It might have been a hacker.
Does anyone have access to the group? I can't open anything.
You guys are still touching Baldi? What's going on? What did you guys do? What happened to the map? Someone changed the thumbnails. That can't be from a backdoor. It was probably the only person to have touched the game recently. Anyone remember the candy she put in? Smiley face.
This is one of you. Nobody else knew I'd been working at McDonald's.
Did you take away my roles? I can't even look at the group funds.
Just get rid of her already. She hasn't done anything good in years at this point.
Stop it. Stop it. It's not me. Why are you all yelling at me?
Revert it now.
It's gone. It's all gone. Every penny.
I'm sorry.
So, what does it all mean grouped up in order? Here's the main story from messages. Zero is talking to Cash about how she's noticed kids really like Baldisbasics. Cash tells her that she sees an opportunity to make a lot of money from this. Tag and Dot are likely invited to help them with the project later on, and Tag tells Dot to actually work for once. They created the first version of Baldisbasics multiplayer, and it worked. People are joining in rapidly. Dot makes a decision to begin working on a new map for the game. Eventually, Dot finishes the map, but the map wasn't liked by players, and they started disliking the game for it. Zero pleads with Dot to revert the map. Either way, this affects the relationship, and Dot is rather antagonistic towards Zero from this point forward. Later in the future, Zero feels bad that everyone wants an update, but that the game hasn't received one in a long time. To solve this, she decides to add the candies, and people hated these. And Zero got mad at all the others for not helping, despite admitting that she didn't tell anyone. Because she says that the main reason was that she wanted to do something for everyone. And that makes sense. However, Cash breaks up the fight and reminds them that they have Dominus money in the group and that it's fine. Later everyone is confused because the thumbnail changed, and so did the map throughout Notebook 6 and 7. Alongside this, their control over the game has been lost. Zero says, "This is one of you responsible. Nobody else knew I've been working at McDonald's." I do not know what that has to do with anything, but they say it. But Dot says that she was responsible, pointing out that she was the one to have touched the game most recently and that her candy assets could be the root of the problem. Everyone turns on Zero and starts yelling at her, according to the messages at least. Dot tells the others to just kick her from the group, saying that she hasn't done anything good in years. So it has in fact been years since the start of the story. Zero says that it is not her, and Tag says revert it now, in all caps with a period after each word. This will be kind of important later. Zero seemingly was responsible, seeing as how they do in fact apologize, which implies that she did cause the hack. But I don't think she did it on purpose. In fact, I'm nearly certain that she's the one who downloaded the hacked free asset and took over the game. In panicking, she tried to say that it wasn't her. But here's where things get really interesting. Someone named Mooner_3, who is part of the Baldi Discord, told me that they had a conversation with the developer Baldi is a good game, where Mooner said revert it now, spelled the exact same way that Tag says it. This could mean that the characters symbolize actual users, but the character Tag doesn't seem to be the embodiment or entirely symbolize Mooner, so it's more likely that these characters just use the same quotes as people from the group. After finding the 10th notebook, we are teleported to a dark room which reveals Tag, Cash, Dot, and Zero together. However, as time passes, Tag and Cash leave, possibly representing Zero's disconnect from them, or literally them leaving the group. Only Dot and Zero remain until Zero is eventually left all alone. The camera violently shakes and we're teleported to a massive dark room with invisible walls. Ahead is Zero on the ground having a breakdown, shaking violently alone under a light. All of a sudden, somebody appears behind them. It looks a lot like Cash, which is odd because I thought he left. But the screen cuts to black and your game resumes where you were standing. Now, I checked multiple different perspectives from multiple different runs, and it looks so much like Cash, but I can't tell if it's Dot or not. Because if it's Dot, that would make sense for what you see at the end of the game. I'll talk about what that is in a moment. Shortly after collecting the 10th notebook, a message appears at the corner of the screen saying Dot has joined the game, and they have selected Baldi. Then the text Baldi starts to spam across the chat, and a sudden feeling of dread rises across the player, knowing that Baldi is now looking for you in the map. And you literally cannot run. After a short amount of time, Baldi will come towards you at incredible speeds, and they will kill you, causing the game to crash with the message, "Session log, your key is whatever you have. See you soon." It does not actually say whatever you have. There's like a code, usually. I'm not sure if the key code is different for everyone or not. You can dodge Baldi, but I don't think you're supposed to be able to, because the 11th notebook virtually does not exist, at least for most of us. The only person who claims to have found it is Popsicle 1020, and they're a fellow investigator. Either way, the story is still ongoing, and we can only wait until an update comes. The story will likely continue around Dot and Zero for the most part, and I'm excited to see what they have in store, but until then, stay curious, stay respectful, especially in the Discord. I saw what y'all were typing, and please like and subscribe. I know most of you aren't going to do it, but please, I beg of you. Getting to 200 subs would be amazing, and it took me nearly 2 years just to get 100. I will see all of you in the next video. Have a good day. Devs, please, 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 once this is done, please,